Hi, my name is James Shepard, and in this little mini series, I'm talking about how to sell a merchant cash advance. And so, no matter which processor you're with or which cash advance company you sell for, I just want to give you some general tips and guidelines on how to sell a merchant cash advance. Now, you're going to want to go back to part one. In part one, we talked about kind of what is a merchant cash advance, how does it work in general. In this video, I'm really focused on the pitch and kind of marketing a cash advance. So, first of all, you have to understand a basic core principle of selling merchant cash advances. A merchant cash advance pretty much sells itself. It's one of those things that either the merchant needs it or they don't. It's very much a timing thing. So you have two goals when you're selling merchant cash advances. Your first goal is to find what I call the low-hanging fruit. Pick the low-hanging fruit. Find the people that need a merchant cash advance now. Now, in my experience, that number is low. It's probably about 1 out of 15 to 1 out of 20 merchants that you would talk to. But I mean, it doesn't take that long to talk to 15 or 20 merchants. So if you get out in the field, if you have 50, 60 clients, you probably got 2, 3, maybe 4 people who want a merchant cash advance right now. And if they knew that you offered it, they would buy it right now, okay? So number one is you're trying to find the low-hanging fruit, the people that actually need a merchant cash advance now. The second goal, and maybe even the larger goal that you're trying to accomplish here, is you're trying to get your name out there in front of your merchants and local business owners as somebody that does offer short-term working capital. And that's the terminology you want to use. We offer short-term working capital, okay? Now, the reason that's important is because maybe 1 out of 15 businesses need a merchant cash advance right now, but there's probably another 6 or 7 of those 15 business owners that will need a merchant cash advance sometime in the next 3 years. Every time you sell a merchant cash advance, if you're with a good company, you should be making some serious money on that, right? So if you're making a lot of money on these, you want to make sure that everybody in your community knows that you do offer them. Definitely your clients need to know that you offer them so they don't go to one of your competitors to get a merchant cash advance when they need the money. And so again, it's really a unique thing because when you get out there in the field and walk into a business, you're going to be surprised by the reaction. The reaction is going to be very black and white. Usually they're not upset that you offered it, but they're usually going to say something like either, yeah, we're actually good, we have a line of credit, or you know what, we have a relationship with our banker, or we're fine right now, we're doing pretty good. And in that case, there's no reason to push past it or try to overcome the objection. It's not really an objection. It's true. If they don't need it, they don't need it, and they're not going to take it. So either they need the money or they don't need the money. If they don't need the money, they don't need it. And so this is not the kind of thing you're going to overcome all these objections and everything like that. If at the very beginning when you make the presentation, it's just about whether or not they've considered it, and we'll talk about that in a second. Now, the other thing, though, is, again, let them know you offer it. Let them know how to get in contact with you. And then, of course, if you're using our marketing platform, regardless of which processor you're with or which cash advance company you use our marketing platform because I talk about the merchant cash advances constantly. And because, again, it's a great way for your merchants to have it out in front of them, and then they're going to contact you about that, okay? So now let's talk about the pitch or the presentation. So when you go in, basically the presentation is this. You've walked in. Usually I recommend you start with merchant services, talk to them about that a little bit, or talk to them about web design or whatever it is you're selling. Once you get down to the end of the conversation, either you've made the sale or not, okay? If not, you want to say one other thing real quick. I just want to mention to you, I always let everybody know this. Our company does offer short-term working capital with no personal guarantee. Usually we can get the money to you in as little as 3 to 5 business days because it's actually bundled in with your merchant services. We can advance you money based on your merchant services volume. Have you ever considered getting a short-term working capital loan like that before? And that's the line you want to use. Have you ever considered getting a short-term working capital loan like that before? Now, when you ask that question, that's going to give you everything you need to know about that business in terms of a cash advance. They're either going to say, yes, we thought about it. Actually, we've gotten them before, but we're in a good place right now. We don't need one. Hey, that's no problem. Let me just leave you my card. If there's ever a situation, I'm here local, and as you know, there's a lot of paperwork involved with these short-term working capital loans, so call somebody local. I'll come out here. I'll walk you through all the paperwork, make sure we get this thing done right away if you ever have need for something like that again. Or they're going to say, we don't need that. We have a line of credit with our bank. We have a good relationship with our local banks or whatever. Fine, they don't need it. Thank them for that, and that's it. Or they're going to say, you know what, actually, we might need something like that. We're going to talk to our partner. Now, once they show an interest, okay, let me help you with something, okay? When they show an interest, a little bit of an interest, they need the merchant cash advance, okay? You can move forward like a bulldog in that scenario, because if they're even just remotely open to it, trust me, they need the money, okay? They wouldn't even open the door to it if they didn't need the money. So now that they've given you this buyer sign, now you want to move forward and say, well, here, let me do this for you. And you want to give them a good timeline to work quickly. Say, here's what I'd like to do. If you're interested in this short-term working capital, I want to make sure we get this done for you and get the ball rolling. The first thing that needs to happen, as I mentioned, is we do have to do the merchant services. So let's do this. Let me go in and get you a free credit card machine in here tomorrow. I'm going to have them overnight a new credit card machine to you, okay, so you can start processing while you're talking over the cash advance. I promise you I'll either match your rate or give you a little bit of a better rate than what you have now, so you're not going to be losing any money here, but I want to get this in right away because we can't do the short-term working capital unless we have the merchant services to draw on. I'm sure you know how that works, Mr. Jones. So let me go in and get that done for you today, and then how about I follow up with you tomorrow after you've had a chance to think about it, talk it over with your partners, and I just have a simple one-page, basically it's like a pre-approval form. All you have to do is fill out this one-page pre-approval form, and I can come back and make you an offer. You're not obligated to take the offer, but I'll come back and say, look, I can loan you X at this factor rate over this period of time. Very simple, no obligation on your part, but the two things that need to happen first is I need to get my credit card machine in here, come back in tomorrow and get this form filled out for you and get some of the basic paperwork so I can give you a pre-approval amount and you can see, you know, how much we could really loan you, and then you can make an educated decision from there. So you might want to rewind the video and watch that a few times, but that's how you really want to go in there and present the merchant cash advance, just to make sure everybody in your market knows you offer it. Then once they show that little bit of interest, you got to push forward quickly and get that cash advance, because they're going to get one from somebody, either you or somebody else, and you want to move forward and get that done right away. So that was part 2. In part 3, I'm going to talk about how much money you can make, the commission on it, what you should be expecting from your merchant cash advance company. And so we'll be talking about that. And then I'm also going to get into some of the nitty-gritty details of how it actually works to get it approved, get the paperwork submitted, and all that good stuff. So, hey, my name is James Shepard. Thanks for watching. Visit us online, CCSalesPro.com, for more free tips for merchant services sales reps. Thanks, and have a great day.